In this episode, we go to Liberia and hang out with cannibal warlords.
I left it up on a chopper, I'm gonna eat it. Left it a general hot.
I was afraid probably the whole time I was in Liberia. There's always this underlying hum of violence, and the poverty there is so crippling that you're kind of like, why wouldn't they steal our camera? Why wouldn't they steal our clothes? I mean, people are starving and all they know is war. So is that why your nickname was General Butt Naked?
Yes, because I was naked, because I fought naked.
A lot of people would drink or do drugs before fighting?
Yeah, most of my boys,
Yeah.
then we drain the blood from the innocent child and drink it before going to battle.
So you kill the child
Yes,
and then drink the blood?
yeah.
I left it up on a chopper, I'm gonna eat it. Left it a general hot. Make sure you eat it.
So what kind of war is it? Gorilla? World War II.
It's World War III.
We here at Vice have been fascinated by Liberia for a long time. It's America's first and only foray into quasi-colonialism in Africa. It started as a Back to Africa movement for freed slaves. In fact, the Constitution was written in Washington, and Monrovia, the capital city of Liberia, is actually named after President Monroe, and it became a state in the 1840s. So the freed slaves go back to Africa and promptly enslave the native Africans based on the plantation method they had learned in the US, which lasts for about 140 years until Samuel K. Doe, the first native African-born Liberian, was elected. But this doesn't last very long. Why? Because an American-educated, and some would say American-backed, rebel leader named Charles Taylor and his buddy Prince Johnson came from America and overthrew him.
We are not a military group here. I'm not a soldier. What we seek to do is to destroy these military dictatorships around Africa. And that's that Charles Taylor virus. If the civilians can throw out the army, wow, we are in trouble. Well, I love it. We will fight to the last man. I will get weapons from wherever I have to get it. If the Pentagon's got some, please give me some.
Despite reports that the government wants talks with the rebels, the violence goes on.
The government and people of this country assure you that the armed forces will protect them and that the rebel will soon be eliminated.
Rebel forces stormed into the center of the capital today. They are now less than a mile from the executive mansion where President Samuel Doe has barricaded himself with about 500 soldiers.
In fact, Prince Johnson, who got to Doe before his buddy Charles, ended up torturing him, cutting him up, and is rumored to have eaten him while filming the whole thing. So Charles Taylor finally gets elected with a campaign slogan that reads, "He killed my ma, he killed my pa, but I'll still vote for him." And it works. He gets elected. But he's so corrupt that soon after, there's a bunch of warlords fighting for control over Liberia, the country devolves into civil war, and things go from bad to severe.
I know somebody who want to kill me. If I grab you, I will eat you. Raw.
But this is like a civil war on steroids. It's a post-apocalyptic Armageddon with child soldiers smoking heroin, cross-dressing cannibals, systematic rape. It's total hell on earth.
We love the music. There's a music.
They call it the sound of death.
Yeah, but it's a sound of music to us.
Liberia's been in the news a lot lately because Charles Taylor is on trial at The Hague for war crimes. But we wanted to know what happened to all the other warlords. So we contacted a Canadian journalist who lives in Liberia named Miles Esty, who's kind of a Kurtz-like character, tall, skinny, skeleton guy, who's had malaria more times than he's had hot dinners. And he said he could get us access to all these ex-warlords. So we said, great. We got on a plane and we flew to Liberia. When you first get to Monrovia, the first thing you think is, it's really hot. It's really hot, it's really poor, and it's totally chaotic. In fact, when we went to pick up Miles, he had just gotten out of the hospital with malaria. He gets in the car and he says, "Are you ready to go? We're going to Baboon Town in the red light district to meet our first general, General Bin Laden." So as we drove to Baboon Town, we asked Miles what's up with the name General Bin Laden. And he said, well, a lot of the generals took different names because they didn't want to be identified after the various wars. And these pseudonyms were meant to strike terror into the hearts of their enemies. So there's a General Rambo because he's scary. There was a General Mosquito because mosquitoes are terrifying because they bring malaria. The general that fought General Mosquito was named General Mosquito Spray. And of course, there's General Bin Laden. In fact, there's two General Bin Ladens. Our General Bin Laden, we found out en route, had just been put in jail. Now, he didn't know why, but he suspected because the authorities found out that we were coming with cameras to shoot him.
And they say they're not going to let him out, but we can interview him in the jail and we can interview the commander.
Let's do that. Let's go there.
Can we go there now?
Yeah.
Let's go now.
It's a big deal, dude.
So the minute we arrive in Baboon Town, our car is surrounded by a bunch of sketchy dudes. So when Miles came back and said we could interview Bin Laden in the police station, I was like, yeah, let's get out of here and get in there really quick. So we get into the police station and it's chaos. Some guards are saying you can go see him, other guards are saying you can't go see him, and we just have to sit there and wait. I like being in the police station. It's nice. Monkey. Little monkey. He's got herpes, I think, or something. Hi. What's wrong with the monkey? Why is the monkey here?
What did the monkey do wrong?
Why is the monkey here? We're in a police station in the middle of the red light district to meet General Bin Laden and wondering why the monkey's here. And eventually, after sitting there for a while, we realized, oh, we've got to grease some palms. So we gave them some money, and bang, we were back into the jail, and we could talk to Bin Laden. Hey, Bin Laden.
Yeah.
How are you?
My friend Shane.
Shane.
I'm Bempsy, yeah.
Nice to meet you. We're gonna try to get you out of here now, and then we can go back.
We can go back and establish the program. Very next.
Okay.
That will be fun.
All right. We're gonna do it right now.
Now.
Okay.
God bless you.
To get him out, what do we have to do?
You know what you did?
Yeah, I know what he did. Just we're talking about to get him out. What do we have to do?
Yeah, when you pay that money, or you
To who?
What do you mean?
So we want to videotape this station without permission? Is that what we do?
Yeah.
If you did not get any permission from me to videotape my office.
Okay, well,
Okay, stop.
Permission.
It's off.
the video's off. He's carrying. You're just holding it right now.
Well, I hope that I have not been recorded here up air because you know this is a criminal.
Look, we're good people. We're good.
Nobody's
Nobody's recording anything.
You just need to pay some cash for getting on.
Sure, I can give him cash.
Any problem?
Can we pay him and pay you a fine and then take him?
Fine.
Okay, great.
That's good.
Okay. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. We went in there. I don't know, we're being followed by the police right now. Yeah, we might have to change tapes or do something because what we do is we shoot cards, and if they come, we can give them the tape. There's nothing on the tape.
You can have a blank tape in there?
Yeah, we do right now. We should just get out of here.
No, now go to the warehouse.
I go to my warehouse.
No,
Don't worry.
All they're picking there.
No, I'm going to take my tip. Yeah.
Everyone, yeah, our boss man.
Okay.
Don't worry on that. Photograph what you want to do here. This is my compound. You are free.
Okay.
No police come here to do anything to you. You will man step on nobody else. Yeah.
Our trip is getting progressively heavier.
We will go on top of the building.
Yeah, that'll be good.
We go on top of the building.
Okay. I'm kind of a little bit worried that the police are gonna come get us right now. I gave them a fake name and fake number.
It's one of my law.
Mr. National Security, right?
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I want you to see for yourself.
Okay.
We're happy that you both are here.
Thank you. Thank you.
So after we got bin Laden out of jail, he was very excited to get us up to his rooftop and tell us his story. And according to him, the ex-generals, who are now the community leaders, are the only ones doing anything to help the people. So maybe you could explain a little bit about, so first of all, you became known as bin Laden during the war.
During the war.
And then after the war, now you're sort of trying to help people by carpentry and by karate.
Karate. After the war, I see some friends going astray.
Yeah.
You know, so long I was a general, I'm gonna make sure and bring them together.
Yeah.
So I do both carpentry and masonry.
Yeah.
And I got men that are in my workshop, we do carpentry work, and I got a field, we do martial art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get any money here?
We do our own collection sometimes before we can have rehearsal.
No, but the UN or the government doesn't give you any money.
Nothing. The government does not give me no support.
Nothing.
The UN does not give me support. It's the first time meeting you people. They calling me and getting information from me. We only need the government attention to our program.
Is this area? This is red light here.
It's a red light, Gorbachev. Yeah. This is red light.
Is there a lot of crime in red light?
Yeah, it's wet time. This is red light.
Red light.
Now it seems like everyone hanging around knows how we got him out and for how much, and that has gotten around. And it's a hot topic of conversation. I don't think Shane knows that, so he's nice and calm on screen. But keeping the stress level a bit higher than usual.
Look at Liberia. Look at Liberia. We can build this place. We don't expect this older country that was born on a Christian principle. People should be in government office with blood under their hand. Let them open their mind and their heart to the country. Why should Mama Liberia sing in poverty?
So Miles comes over, stops the interview, and says, "We have to get the fuck out of here now." And bin Laden looks down and he goes, "Yeah, those aren't my guys. You guys should really go." So bin Laden gave us an escort, and a couple of his guys got us through. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Holy fucking shit. But that was out of hand. We gotta get out of here. There was some heavy duty vibes there, boy. So after meeting and being freaked out by General bin Laden, we wanted to see what the UN and government were doing to rebuild Liberia. So we met a local journalist named Nagbe, and we asked him, and he said, "You want to see what the government and UN are doing? I'll take you to West Point." So West Point is the worst slum in Liberia, which makes it one of the worst slums in West Africa, which makes it one of the worst slums in the world. And when you first get there, the first thing you want to do is get the hell out. It's open sewers everywhere, mixed in, and the stench is overpowering.
Yeah, this is West Point. People live here like this for years, man. It's more or less a microcosm of the city. Virtually all the major tribes living in Liberia live in the West Point. Now, West Point happens to be one of the most devastated part of the war because the people here don't have toilets, and because they have no toilets, they use the beach.
Oh, dude, it really stinks here.
They're not taking care of the community, you know, following that rule. Obviously.
But the government has to do something about that.
Seriously, but they're not doing it. The commissioner...
So even in one of the worst slums of Western Africa, you see the cultural impact that America has there. All the kids are wearing Biggie or Tupac t-shirts. And in fact, one kid came up to us and said, "Hey, I'm a rapper. Can I rap for you?" And we said yes. And it wasn't about bling, and it wasn't about Cristal.
Is getting busy, drinking blood from the body. Slim is the first, death is the last. Believe it or not, it's easier to attack. Every woman need a man, every hands on the shoulder. Mother Lauren, what's the point? Mother DeLauren, how the paracord is on her face. We step a signal killing boys. Yes. We step a signal killing girls. Yes. Yeah, we step a signal killing neighbor. Yes. Yeah, we step a signal killing everybody. Yes.
And is there a lot of malaria in here?
A lot.
Needless to say, in West Point, health conditions are foul. Diseases everywhere. Malaria, infections, and AIDS are rampant.
My mom bad down, so I decided to come to school. I'm not in school. No hair.
These electronic shops.
Yeah.
They are just cover up.
Cover up for heroin.
For heroin.
Wow.
It's a big business.
We heard stories that during the war, the rebels would go out in boats with diamonds and trade the diamonds for weapons and cocaine, and it was a lot of Colombians and Mexicans.
It did happen here.
We find it interesting because cocaine and heroin are very expensive drugs.
Yeah.
So we were surprised to find heroin here. Usually in poorer countries, there's speed or meth or like things you can make.
I feel tired
Why is
coming
that?
here. The Nigerians.
Nigerians bring it.
Behind these areas are small shops that are used as brothels, and you can pay between $50 to $75 to $100.
Liberian dollars?
Liberian dollars.
So how much is that?
Less than $1.
So because of the poverty, a lot of women have to become prostitutes.
Yes. Or we like to use the term sex worker.
Sex worker. So on our first day in Liberia, we see child junkies, shit and piss everywhere, malaria, AIDS, rape, and now we start hearing about cannibalism. The scaredest I was when we actually shot in West Point, which is the worst slum in West Africa. And it's kind of these rabbit warren streets. And we went to shoot in a brothel with these junkies. And the junkies started asking for money. They're like, where's my money? Where's my money? And people started hearing money and just flooded into the brothel, like, money, money, money. So we took off. The problem is you take off, you can't go anywhere because there's these little, streets that, that there's no rhyme or reason to them. So we're all running around in the dark. And we finally get back to the car against all odds. We get in the car and our driver's so freaked out about the mob following us that he peels off and nearly kills some people, which is terrifying because if you kill people down in West Point, they'll just take the car, rip you limb from limb. And so against all odds, we get out of there and I'm like shaking and nervous and whatever. And as we go, we realize, oh, now it's time to meet General Butt Naked.